Hey team, it's Miss Winter. This is it. This is the grand finale. Today we are looking at form. So by this stage, you will have already done your 5 inspiration images inspired by form. You would have written your 2 sentences about why they inspire you, and you would have taken your 10 to 15 different images that demonstrate form. So what are we doing today? Amazing question. We're doing 3 things. The first thing we're going to do is a contact sheet. Now, by this stage, you all already know how to do a contact sheet, but for anyone that still just wants that extra security of knowing how to do it, we're going to show you how to do it here today. The second thing you're going to do is just a little bit of editing, a little something, something. And then the third thing is you're going to be writing an artist statement about it. So should we get stuck into this? Should we make a contact sheet? Yes? Yes. I love this. Okay, so like always, we're going to go to Photoshop. We're going to go File, say it with me, Automate. Contact sheet. That's it, people. And we are going to click choose, and we are going to select where our form folder is, which is just here. I'm going to hit open and then okay. Now Photoshop is just going to do its thing. So it's just going to start putting all of our form photos together. And I'm going to show you these in a second. They're just from around Loyola College. And then once this loads, what are we going to do? Yep. Love this. You and I right now in this space. We're going to save this as a JPEG. So let's do it together. Remember, on yours, it might be file save as, on mine, it is file export as, and we are going to export/save it as a JPEG. And we are going to put it back in our form folder. Boom. Should we check that it worked? All right, let's go into all of the documents, digital art, form. Boom, there it is. Okay, perfect. Now, once we've done that, let's come back here. So once you've done it as a JPEG, you need to save it back into the folder where the images are and put it in your visual diary. All right, let's do that together now. So we've got our special page here for form. So we're going to go insert picture from file, and we are just going to find where that is. Form, contact sheet, hit enter. Boom, it's in there. Now let's save it so we don't lose any of our work. Control S or Command S if you're on a Mac. And what's the next step? Editing your chosen image. And now I need to remember this time, I need to take screenshots of what I'm doing and put them in here. So I'm going to just open this already to make sure I don't forget. Okay, 2 screenshots. Miss Winter, get it together. Let's do it. So I'm going to show you the photos I took. First of all, I took some photos of these 3-dimensional blocks. If anyone does VisCom, you'll probably know these blocks already, and you may have even drawn these blocks before. And then I went and I took a little walk around. Has anyone had to clean up rubbish at lunch? You might be familiar with these cute little buckets. So I thought this is a pretty good representation of form. And then I walked down to the library and I saw this. This is just some concrete slabs stacked into the garden of the library. But I was just like, ooh, this is an interesting version of form. So we've got this example here too, a little close up there. And then also some 3-dimensional little, like, I don't even know what these types of rocks are called, but I see them all around like Eltham and Diamond Creek. And then lastly, some very organic forms, some pretty flowers. Love it. So what I thought we would do today is we are going to edit this picture here of these like 3D structure that's been kind of created by accident, but I think it looks really cool. When I saw this, I actually thought, oh my gosh, is this like a sculpture garden or something like that? It has a very like modern art look about it. So we are going to edit this one today. So open with Photoshop. And we're just going to do a few adjustments, nothing too crazy. I'm going to move myself over there. Okay, so we're just going to do some adjustment things today. So we're going to click on the adjustments panel. And I really, really want to like highlight the fact that it's 3-dimensional and it's form. So I think, to be honest, I was thinking about turning it black and white, but then I realized, oh, maybe that looks pretty cool. But I think that we need the color in this one. So I'm actually going to get rid of that layer. And we are just going to be playing around with how we can enhance the color. So I'm going to click on adjustments again. And what should we play with today? Let's have a look. Let's do hue saturation again. So we are going to really pump up. Ooh, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Okay, we're going to pump it up to +49. So if we go back here and we turn that off, now it looks drab and boring and not really very exciting at all. And if we click that back on, oofed. Oh my gosh, delightful. This is very, very pretty. I'm into this. Okay, I'm going to do another thing. We might mess around with color balance now. What if we go exposure? Okay, this is a good one. I don't think we've used this yet before. So this is the same thing as like the brightness and contrast that we muck around with. So this one controls the exposure of your image. It's a little bit different than brightness and contrast because it sort of doesn't make the whole image, you know, in the brightness and contrast where the whites will become really bright, whereas this one, the exposure changes everything. And then the offset also kind of adds like a smoky gray tone to it if you put that up. And then this gamma correction is almost a little bit like the curves. You can mess around with that and like pull it up and down. So I'm actually just going to bump the gamma correction up a little bit to 0.84, so just under +1. Then I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to mess around with curves a little bit. You know how much I love curves. All right. So let's pull that up a little bit and pull it down here. Now, ooh, okay. Let's turn all of these off because I forgot screenshots again. So I'm going to do screenshots right now. Screenshot 1 and screenshot 2. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Okay, so there's my second screenshot. So if I have a look at this, that's the original. And then just from a few little tweaks and adjustments, I think it ends up looking really, really bright. It really shows off the three-dimensional form of this sort of like pretend sculpture, but you also see the 3D form in some other objects around here too. So I think that ends up being really nice. So what are we going to do now? I'm happy with this. I'm going to save it. So what am I saving it as? A JPEG. Yes, exactly. So I'm going to go File, Export As, and I'm going to do it. Oh, you can't even see it, as a JPEG. So let's export that now. And I'm going to save it in my form folder. Excellent. Done. And now if we go back to this visual diary, we're going to insert our screenshots. So I'm just going to come back to the desktop and we've got our 2 here. Love it. And then the next step is to write our artist statement, which I have already prepared, and there's even a meme in it this time. But before we do that, we've got to put in our image. So we'll go File, Insert Picture, and we're going to come down to the OneDrive, not 2021. Where is it? Form. There we go. And I'm going to insert that here. And here is our artist statement. So remember, you need an artist name. It can be your name or it could be a made up name. It could be, okay, there's a PowerPoint in front of me and there's a cord here and there's wood grain there. So it could even be Power Wood Face. Yeah, good. The year it was made was 2022. And then what it means, oh no, the name of the artwork. So the name of this artwork is that a sculpture garden? That's what I'm going for here. And so what it means to the artist. So I've written, when I came across a collection of concrete slabs stacked in a garden outside the eye center and thought to myself, wow, is that a sculpture? This beautiful three-dimensional display found in a wild setting transformed the garden from a beautiful natural space into that of an impromptu art gallery, the man-made forms creating an industrial contrast to the beauty of nature, highlighting their structure and complementing the garden around them. So that is our artist statement for the very, very final image. I'm really excited to see what you lovely people create for this one too. I'll obviously be in the classroom with you if you need any assistance. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see what you make. Okay, people, I'm going to go now. I'll see you in a second. Okay, bye.